Hi, this is Mike with AskTractorMike.com. I'm going to tell you a story today about the closest I ever came to rolling a tractor over. And it happened right here in the driveway of the first place that we lived when we moved out of the city to the country. And I grew up in the hills of the Missouri Ozarks, but we had a place up on a plateau. So our farm was on fairly flat ground. When I moved to the country around Ozark, Missouri, everywhere I've lived has been hilly. And I've had to learn to be safe because tractor rollover is a big danger. And I have people on this channel all the time ask me, how can you guarantee that I won't roll my tractor over? And I can't do that. There's a lot of factors that can contribute to tractor rollover, and I'm going to talk about those today and then tell you my story about the time I nearly rolled over right here in the driveway. Now, let's talk about what you can do to prevent tractor rollover. And in my mind, there's 8 major factors that contribute to tractor rollover. And 7 of them you can influence, and the 8th one is the one that nearly got me. Let's talk about the 7 first. Ballast is the first. You can put fluid in the tires to keep weight low to the ground, or wheel weights on the tractor, or a rear ballast box or something like that to help hold that tractor to the ground. So that's number 1. Number 2 is your tread spacing. And on a lot of tractors, if you'll swap the back wheels from one side to the other, the dish has a different offset and it'll move the wheels out wider on the back. Some tractors you can take the center section away from the rim and you'll have multiple tread settings. And if you have a tractor with bar axles, you can put them any width you want. So the wider the back tread setting, the more stable it'll be on hills. That's number 2. Number 3 relates to carrying loads. If you've got a load in your loader bucket and it's up high, that's going to help you tip over. So you want to keep your load as low to the ground as possible. Number 4 is the condition of your tires. If your tires are really worn and almost slick, you're going to have a bigger chance of rolling down a hill and catching something and turning over. The next one is ground speed. The faster you're going, the more chance you have of rolling over. The next one is terrain. If you have a side hill that's been bulldozed and there have been trees taken out, there could be holes there. And if you are on a side hill and you run your tractor tire down in a hole, it can flip you over real quickly. So it's hard to change terrain, but you can put rocks in those holes and fill them in with dirt and level them up a little bit, and that'll keep you a lot safer. The 7th factor is one that's really hard to control, but you control it when you buy your tractor, and that's center of gravity. The taller your tractor, the higher your center of gravity, the more chance you have of getting top heavy and rolling over. So if you're buying a cab tractor or a flat deck tractor, and I'll talk about that in a later video, versus a straddle mount tractor, you may set up higher. Also, different tractor tires have different heights. The taller the tractor tire, the taller the center of gravity, the more chance of rollover. So how high your center of gravity is can impact. Now, those are the 7 things that you can change and have an impact on how safe you are on hills. The 8th thing that you can't change is weather conditions. And what prompted this video, a couple of nights ago, I was out brush hogging right at dusk. Trying to get done, the sun was going down and there was a heavy dew on the grass that night. And I was brush hogging some Johnson grass that was way up high. And when I cut the grass and backed down over it, I could feel the tractor trying to move on me. So when weather conditions, when you have moisture on grass, makes it slick. If you're on like a combine or a big tractor on a side hill, wind can have a big effect. But the one that nearly got me was in the winter. And I was living here. We had a little bit of a dusting of ice, of freezing rain and drizzle, followed by a pretty good snow. And pretty good for this area is 3 or 4 inch snow. And I was bound and determined I was going to go to work the next day. So I got out right at the end of the day and decided to take the loader bucket and push the snow out of the driveway so I could get my vehicle out and get to work. And I was coming down this driveway and I just about was done. I was on my last pass, and right here, this driveway doesn't look like it slopes much, but there's an ever so slight slope to the east. And then once you get off the driveway, it gets kind of hilly, and if you gain momentum, you would go right on down, and there's a dry creek bed down at the bottom, and that's where I would have rolled the tractor. So I was coming down to the end of the driveway, and I'm driving dead straight, And all of a sudden I feel the wheels give on the back, and the back end of the tractor starts to swing around, and I'm headed downhill. And I got right off of the driveway and was starting to pick up momentum, and it hit me. I got to get that loader bucket to the ground. And I crammed forward the joystick, and the loader bucket went to the ground and sat down, and it stopped me before I could gain enough momentum to take me right on down the hill. And it saved me possibly from a tractor rollover. And after that, I was able to back out slowly and get the tractor parked, and I was done. I wasn't getting out on that again. So it's fall now. We're going into winter. I want to tell you, all bets are off in ice. Part of the problem with the modern tractors, most of us have R4 tires or skid loader tires that have those ridges on them, and they're great going up and down a hill, but on a side hill, they kind of act like skis. And that's what I had on this tractor, and they had fluid in them. They were properly weighted, but on ice, all bets are off. You don't have much control at all. My best advice to you if we have an ice storm this winter is don't get the tractor out. It's not worth it, and it'll pucker you pretty quick when you lose control of a tractor on ice. Now I'm going to give you some statistics here. Stay with me, and then I'm going to tell you how to save yourself, save your life in the event of a tractor rollover. Agriculture is either the most dangerous or the second most dangerous occupation next to mining. They go back and forth. Of agricultural accidents, 80% of them involve machinery. Of those 80%, 75% involve tractors, and of those 75%, 60% are tractor rollovers. So it's a big problem on the farm. It's a big problem if you're a hobby farmer like I am with a few horses and a tractor to try to keep your place looking nice. Here's the good news. You can survive over 99% of tractor rollovers if you have a functioning roll bar in the upright position and your seat belt fastened. So keep that roll bar up and keep that seat belt fastened, and even if you do roll over, you got a real good chance of surviving. Without the roll bar, without the seat belt, your chances are not good. I survive on web traffic. I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page and share this video with other tractor enthusiasts. If you've had experiences where you either rolled over or nearly rolled over, share them in the comments below. We'd like to know about that. Thanks for watching.